So I have the painting at home now, and I paid $750 for this painting. And some collectors would think that's too much money to pay for a Letterman painting. And it actually says right over in the corner beside the trees, Letterman, right there. Of course, value depends very much on the condition of the painting, and this particular artwork is not in very good condition. There is a lot of crackler that's starting to appear. There are some compression points where something has pressed through the painting from the back. There is an awful lot of cigarette smoke. Years of cigarette smoke have accumulated on this painting, so the surface is quite yellow and brown, and there's a certain amount of wear and tear. That frame isn't doing the painting any favors, and if you recall, there was an old light on top which I took off the frame because I don't think it helps the work of art at all. But despite all of that, despite the condition of this painting, something about this artwork caught my attention. And that is, the style is very similar to that of Virgil Thrasher. It's not signed Virgil Thrasher, but it looks like Virgil Thrasher's work to me. And that intrigued me. During my years as an active art dealer, I sold many serigraphs, limited edition serigraphs of Virgil Thrasher's work. I could virtually sell them as quickly as I got them. I became very familiar with his visual style. And looking at this painting, some of those same characteristics are present. The large color fields have been created through a silkscreen process rather than a traditional brush painting. The colors are remarkably uniform. The trees display a precision that suggests stencil work rather than freehand execution. In simple terms, colors are applied through the prepared screens rather than painted directly by hand, creating the smooth, consistent surfaces visible throughout the composition. In the art world, this process is known as a serigraph. What immediately caught my attention was the scale. A serigraph of this size would have required enormous screens, careful alignment of each color layer, and the skills of a master printmaker to pull it off successfully. My research led me to Artmaster Studios, the company behind many Letterman works. Artmaster operated in San Fernando, California, within the same Southern California commercial art environment where Virgil Thrasher built his career. As my research continued, I learned that Artmaster was known to license designs from successful commercial artists and adapt them for large-scale production. I first encountered Thrasher's work more than 50 years ago while vacationing in Florida, where his images appeared on commercially produced picture clocks. That history makes this story even more intriguing. Was this design created by Virgil Thrasher and licensed for production? Or was it created by someone working within the same artistic and commercial circle? I attempted to locate Virgil Thrasher, but that proved impossible. His career unfolded largely before the internet era. And then there is one final clue. The painting is clearly signed Letterman beside the trees. The signature itself appears to have been painted by hand rather than screened as part of the production process. Someone actually took the time to apply those letters with a brush. And the placement is particularly interesting. Virgil Thrasher was known for incorporating his signature into trees, stumps, and other natural elements within his compositions. Here, the word Letterman appears in precisely the sort of location where one might expect to find his signature. And that raises a fascinating question. Could this be Virgil Thrasher sending a cryptic message to a knowing buyer? A work he created before his own studio came into being? Or was someone inside the Artmaster studio paying tribute to an artist they admired? A quiet nod to the creative source behind the image. But after everything I noticed about that painting, I found that detail impossible to ignore. Based on my experience with his work, I have little doubt about the artistic lineage of this painting. And that creates a valuation problem. As a collector, I may have my hopes about this painting, but as an appraiser, I have to have the evidence. Without documentation connecting this directly to Virgil Thrasher, I have to value this as a Letterman. So I began looking for comparable Letterman paintings currently being offered in the marketplace. What I found surprised me. There remains a vibrant secondary market for Virgil Thrasher's work. His limited edition serigraphs continue to trade on eBay, with examples offered for as much as $500. At the same time, I located several large Letterman paintings displaying remarkably similar characteristics. The same screened color fields, the same California decorative aesthetic, the same strong visual presence. Asking prices range from approximately $1,500 to $1,750. Now, asking prices are not the same as selling prices. Viewed strictly as a Letterman painting, paying $750 for this example appears entirely reasonable. Had I been able to establish a direct connection to Virgil Thrasher, the valuation discussion would have been very different. As usual, Charlie has decided to join us at this point, right, Charlie? So a common rule of thumb in the art market is that an original work can be valued about 10 times the price of a limited edition piece. Now, there remains a vibrant and healthy secondary market for Virgil Thrasher's limited edition serigraphs, ranging in price to as much as $500. So had I been able to establish a reasonable connection between this painting and Virgil Thrasher, I think a reasonable price for this work of art would have been at around $5,000. But that connection cannot be proven. And as an appraiser, I cannot value what I suspect. I can only value what I can prove. Based on the comparable Letterman paintings I traced during my research, I believe that a fair market value for this particular work is approximately $1,500. In all my years in the art business, I've never encountered another painting that raised so many questions. Perhaps someday I will discover a connection between this work and Thrasher. But until then, the mystery remains. What do you think? Happy hunting. If you've been seeing this book and wondering who it's from, my name is John Sumner. I've spent a long time in the art world as a dealer, an appraiser, and as a working artist. I wrote a no-nonsense guide to buying art because I've seen how confusing and intimidating buying art can feel, even for people who genuinely love it. This book isn't about trends, and it's not about telling you what to buy. It's about learning how to look at art with a bit more confidence and trusting your own taste instead of second-guessing yourself. If that sounds helpful, you'll find the book in the link below. And if it's not for you, that's completely fine too.